Leo.
Hello, Leo. This is your New Year forecast for the entire year of 2017. And I would have loved to done this on camera, but I am changing out the equipment, so I'll be back on cam for your January forecast. So, listen, we're going to be looking at the outlook over the spread of the year. We will be going through all the retrogrades of what you can expect. So, do get your pen and notepad out. Okay, we got a lot of dates to go through there. Typically, what I like to do, Leo, when I look out over a full year spread, is to follow the directions of Mars. And that is because Mars really gives us our goals, our dedication, what we can accomplish throughout the year. And so starting off here, top of the year, we have Mars conjuncting Neptune. What a way to start a new year. Why? Because the new year is always the time we put down intentions for what we want to achieve. And having Mars conjunct Neptune is really aligning your goals with your hopes, your dreams, the vision that you hold for yourself. So it's a year to dream big, right? It really does hold a signature that will linger and last throughout the year, even when this conjunction is over, because it infuses the brand new year with this fusion. But let's start off with Mars's direction and the houses, which is the scenarios of which it is going to be transiting through all your houses. It is in your 8th house as we start off. Its transit starts in your 8th house, and the 8th house has to do with joint or shared resources and commissions, royalties, investment payouts, and so forth, inheritances. And this is where it will be focusing to January 29th. Anything you can do in this area, Mars will support you. It will help you to get all your ducks in a row. It could be money shared with your partner and those things. It's also the area of intimacy. So you might just find yourself being extra romantic or intimate here, as it is the Scorpio house, but the romantic side comes from it transiting in the sign of Pisces. So from January 29th until March 11th, Leo, where you're going to be focusing all your energy and have all the support you can ever ask for Mars to give you, is in the area of education. Higher thinking, all your philosophical thoughts might come to the forefront. Some of you may be taking on classes, wanting to up your degree, but the 9th house also has to do with publishing. If you have any articles, manuscripts out there, great time for Mars to help you with that. But also long distance travel or people in foreign places, foreign countries, languages. If you're looking for a green card, visas, well, Mars will absolutely be of great benefit for you. So the nice thing about working with Mars in the areas of your chart, you can benefit double, triple. Of course, there's other things that we might do throughout the year, but not necessarily where Mars is at. That's why we work harder to get things going. It's like rolling a big boulder uphill, isn't it? But when we really know where Mars is at, that's when we can accomplish. So get all your ducks in a row, get your research done. 9th house area is great for that. And it's all about preparatory states for when Mars now will enter into your 10th house for career, which it will between March 11th and April 22nd. This is the time of 2017 where you can really make it big in your career field. You will come to see that your consciousness, your physical energy, your goals, and determination is fixed on wanting to grow this area. You can expect more interaction maybe with your supervisors, your boss, or also just you pushing out there maybe with new applications to start a new career. From April 22nd to June 5th. Now, Mars moving into your 11th house deals with your hopes and dreams and those higher goals, but it's also the area of friendships, acquaintances, groups and organizations. So catching up with friends, making more time and space to interact with them. Well, this will be a great time for you. You could also come to see that you can attract new people within this area, new friends that can become acquaintances for years to come from now. And they could typically also be very supportive of you because they will be entering your life with a Marsian type energy. June 5th through July 21st, well, Mars moving into the sign of Cancer. That's your 12th house. This is a time when Mars needs to power up its battery pack. So we step back from the big world, and this is time to meditate, do some yoga, do some dreaming, daydreaming, working behind the scenes on projects that you're not quite ready yet to show to the world. That will take place when Mars enters your first house. So yes, you could really quietly now dream big and also pamper yourself a little bit more. Pay attention to your dreams throughout this time, and then be ready for the launch of Mars's new 2-year cycle of energy as it goes over your rising, your ascendant, and into your first house, which is all about you, your energy, the way you present yourself out to the world, and how people will come to perceive you because you are now taking that approach with Mars into your personality. So that is definitely here between the dates of July 21st and September 9th. This is the time of the year that you will come out to shine, radiate, be quite dynamic, and you will hear comments about it too from people around you. It is just really you powering up to reach for those goals, get out and about, ready and fit to fight, so to speak. And it being in the sign of Leo, well, that gives you just even more so that sense and the feeling of empowerment because that is your sign, right? So September 9th to October 23rd, here we go. Time to look at money. This is the best time of 2017 to look at your income. What are you making? Are you happy with it? How can you shore it up, balance it? It's all about finding perhaps maybe new ways to make money as well. When we do have Mars in the second house, not only do we become money magnets to attract, because that is where our consciousness is, but it's also a time for extra expenses, money going out. So be prepared for it and know that you have what it is you need. And of course, you can start prior to. You can be thinking about that in the months ahead, but then know that you are on the stage here at this time to improve your financial income. October 23rd through December 10th, Mars will then be visiting your third house, and this is the area of communication. It's how you communicate, what you communicate. Great time to give presentations, talks, speeches, but also short distance travel. You might just find yourself wanting to take a weekend off here or there. A nice road trip can do the magic, if not necessarily a long distance, more like the ninth house journeys. But the third house gets us out of town and gives us a little break mentally so that we can get more in tune and in touch with the way we think. Okay, it's all about our thought patterns at this time. And then from December 10th throughout the rest of the year, Mars will enter into the home domain. This is all about family, your foundation, maybe getting your house in order, paint new walls, change the carpet, that kind of thing, even if it's just down to rearranging your furniture. But it gives us a lift and a new drift and drive. And of course, for those of you thinking that you'd like to move, well, this could definitely be the time for you this year. It is right there, under the holidays. It's busy as is, but it could become even more busy if you're thinking about making a move with all that packing, unpacking. But then Mars will give you the energy to sustain and get through it all. That's the transits and where the focus mostly will be shining up for you. The other houses, they're not affected by Mars other than through aspects and whatnot. But let's take a look at the retrogrades. And we have near all planets this year retrograding, with the exception of Mars. Mars is not going to retrograde. So this gives us all a very energetic year where Mars is just going to power through and it's not going to sit stuck anywhere. We like that because it means that we have a year ahead of us, which is going to be quite dynamic, where we're just going to zoom down that superhighway and reach for the goals that are set out for us. But let's start with Mercury. Mercury's already retrograde as we start off 2017. They're from December 19th and straight through January 8th. So, but the next retrograde is April 10th through May 4th. This will retrograde 4 degrees in Taurus. And for you, Leo, that is the area of your career, okay? So what a way to start here. This will give you extended time to look at your career, create whatever adjustments and retweak things that might empower you. Sometimes we feel quite frustrated under a retrograde because things slow down and it can be delayed. And if you're especially expecting for things to really take action at this time, especially because Mars is really powered up and everything, but those delays will behoove you in the long run. Other things, maybe other opportunities might present itself at this time, or where you're looking back to the past where something was missed and it now can come into place and behoove you for the long run. So don't allow it to frustrate you. Actually be quite happy that it's happening in this area, because then it gives you an opportunity to really, really work your career. And once it's over, you're set and good to go in your career for the rest of 2017. The next Mercury retrograde, 11 degrees in Virgo. Mercury is going to retrograde in your money and income house. Okay, so you're going to have extended time here to get all your ducks in a row. Look at what's going on. Look at how you can refine or tweak this area. So you see, actually retrogrades are blessings. The only frustrations is the slowdown. Say if you're waiting for a payout, waiting for a check and it's not coming, well, look at the bigger view. Look at what else is going on. And maybe because of the delay and the frustration is helping you focus and hone in on this area, maybe so that in the future these things won't happen. That's how it can work for us, right? The next Mercury retrograde, December 3rd to December 23rd. This is taking place in the sign of Sagittarius, and that is your 5th house for love. Also the area for children, your self-expression, your creativity. The 5th house loves to just take it easy, do your hobbies. So that's not a bad place to have a retrograde. That really means that it's slowing down everything else for you so that you can focus right here. Have that time off. Go do those things that you so desire. And it's, really in a nice time for it as well before the holidays. But yet again, just be careful for Christmas shopping, anything that you're going to buy. Since it's from December 3rd to 23rd, that is typically when we're out buying gifts. So I would say get an early start, get all your Christmas gifts done in November, just so you don't end up getting funky parts and so forth that won't work out, and then those gifts have to go back, right? No signing of papers, documents, or anything unless you can avoid it here under any of the Mercury's retrogrades, and then you will always make sure that you are on the safe side. Now, Venus will retrograde March 4th through April 15th. It will retrograde here in the sign of Aries. That is your 9th house. So education, papers, studies, research, and so forth. Also travel can expect to be somewhat delayed. But another thing that we really do want to keep in mind here, girls, that goes for you guys too, but any kind of plastic surgery would not be advised. The Venus rules beauty. It rules how we look. Even haircuts, if we can stay away from that here this month, that is a good thing, just so it doesn't come out in a way that you hadn't anticipated. And we know how plastic surgeries that go wrong look like, right? So stay aside from it. Any kind of monetary contracts, to be a little wary of it. Venus rules money. And then, of course, it is a time for you to speak your highest truth to your partner, right? Because Venus also rules love. There might be some higher thoughts here between the two of you of your connection and how you fit into the world at large. This may come up at this time. So we're going to skip Mars. Mars has no retrogrades, as mentioned, but we're going to go straight to Jupiter. Now, Jupiter, which rules expansion, which rules great fortune, it is the best supporter that we can have. When it goes to sleep, well, it's not the worst planet to have retrograde. She's still a good supporting planet. But things can slow down a little bit, and this for you will be in the area of your third house. So communication, short distance travel, and so forth might go a little slow. You might be waiting on some contractual papers and so forth, since it's in the area of communication, which of course rules anything written, documents and so forth. But it could be a great time to use this to catch up with your siblings. Let's not forget the third house is all about siblings, and maybe they live at distance since Jupiter rules that. So yes, maybe you could have them come visit, or maybe you will jet out to see them. Saturn will retrograde April 6th through August 26th. So that's a long haul. This is happening in the sign of Sagittarius and in the area of your children, but also the area of romance and creativity, your self-expression, the businesses perhaps that you own. If you're thinking about wanting to launch something, well, it's good to have Saturn on your side because Saturn gives longevity, always looking out for you to ground things for the long haul. However, though, I would advise not to launch anything while it's retrograde, because then the signature of that retrograde will linger for years to come, way after the period that Saturn has gone direct again. So be aware, April 6th to August 26th. Get your ducks in a row, up and running prior to this date, or wait to after the end of August. I would say from September onwards, your Saturn will be in good shape again. And in the meanwhile, it has helped to point out certain aspects here within these areas that you can refine. Let's look at Uranus. Uranus is in your ninth house. It will retrograde August 3rd and throughout the remaining of the year. And so Uranus, since it rules change, the way we think, the way we act, it can come in with surprises. It's our higher thinking, and it's in the house of higher thinking. Double whammy, right? So I know that you Leos, many of you have been traveling, relocating, some of you even to other countries, because you've had this yearning, this need to change things up, to dynamically create shifts in your lives. And so all that must have been really, really good. But when she's retrograde, maybe not. You might still do it, and then you will find out that wherever you're relocating to might not have been what you had thought anyway, and then we'll have to change it down the road. Neptune is our vision, our psychic faculties. It is our intuition, and it's in the 8th house here, Leo, for you, and retrograding here will help you look at what works as far as your savings, your investments, the money that you share with your partner. Is it working? Is it not working? Is it fair or not fair as far as the shares go? Neptune, when it retrogrades, well, it is asleep. It is time to dream of things, not really necessarily to initiate. So June 16th to November 23rd, Neptune is sleeping and can still be active, though, in your subconsciousness. Pluto is the last planet we're looking at, and it will retrograde April 4th through September 29th. Now, Pluto is the planet of transformation. It's really what weeds out all the old, shuts down old chapters, closes doors, saying, I'm done, been there, done that, right? And your area is the 6th house, and that has to do with your daily routines. And I know a lot of you Leos have really been looking at this over these last few years, how you're emitting your energy in your daily life. Are you being productive or are you not being productive? What is it you'd like to dynamically change? Well, here when it's retrograde, it's giving you this time between April to the end of September to reflect. What changes have you done? Are you happy with it? If so, that's good. No big deal. You won't probably even notice this retrograde. If you're still feeling that there's been changes and renewals that you would have liked to have done, and you still haven't done it, well, it's going to become apparent to you now. And it's really going to put you into that thought process like, well, why didn't I move when, I had that in mind, I procrastinated. It's going to bring all the old issues up to the surface, making you aware of those things that you would like to change up now. And Pluto is magical in that way. It can transform anything. And since it's your sixth house, it really has a lot to do with your work, not necessarily career, but the way you work within your career or relate to your coworkers. It's also all about health. Health issues may now come to the surface so that you can do something about it, just to ensure that you are on a healthy note. So, listen here, Leo, there's going to be a couple of minor eclipses in 2017. More on that as we get into the year. There's one eclipse I do like to mention right now, and that is the eclipse of August 21st, 2017, because it's a total solar eclipse. There's already a lot of buzz about it. Why? Because not all eclipses are seen from our hemisphere, but here this one this year is going to be seen throughout North America. So it makes it extra special to go out there and view and wait for that diamond to appear. So with this, Leo, I wish you happy holidays. I wish you a beautiful happy New Year 2017. Go out, make it work for you, and may it be just blessed and prosperous for you. And I'll see you there for your January forecast.